All right, friends, it's T-Mun, and we're back with a Q&A. We're going to do an educational video, man. So we've done an educational video on positive nitrogen balance. Now we're going to do an educational video on negative nitrogen balance, the impact of negative nitrogen balance on the human body. So I got to use AI overview. It says here, yes, in a state of negative nitrogen balance, a human cell deteriorates faster than it regenerates. So I'm not making any of these things up. I do what other people were asking me. They always ask me, can you prove what you say? I can prove everything I say. And most of the context of this is taken out of NCBI, so you could find this there. So yeah, so if you deteriorate faster than you regenerate if you're in negative nitrogen balance, and that is the reason why the people that you see walking around amongst you and the young people can't relate to them. They look like the mummy, and they're not supposed to be looking like a mummy. In other words, you're not supposed to be deteriorating looking like mummies, like in ancient Egypt times, okay? So the truth is, that's why you see people that eat lots and lots and lots of meat. They have a much more youthful look than people that eat too much plant foods, even though they might be eating meat, but they're eating a lot of these plant foods and artificial foods. So man-made artificial foods plus man-made fruits and vegetables and whatever. They have a mix of just about everything. Humans eat everything. Seeds, man, it's crazy. They'll just put anything in their mouth, okay? So let's just put a combination just about everything they're eating out there that they think tastes good. And all the stuff that actually is good for you, to them, it tastes bad. So yeah, that's why they're in negative nitrogen balance. And so are vegans. Vegans are in negative nitrogen balance. And the good majority of the population is in negative nitrogen balance because even Blaha has admitted to anti-nutrients do exist. Get it? So not only are you eating these foods that are they're devoid of these amino acids and nutrients to keep you in positive nitrogen balance. They're anti-nutrient. And if they're anti-nutrient, man, you're going to just starve constantly. That's why you constantly are eating snacks all day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It never ends, man. But you get the idea. So yeah, you're really always like, I'm starving. Like you eat breakfast and then like, I'm starving for lunch. It's only been like 2-3 hours. But I'm starving. Yeah, you are starving. Everybody's starving out there because that's associated with negative nitrogen balance. Now, me personally, I eat a lot of more raw products. I find that I'm less and less. I never feel hungry. The truth is, I don't feel hungry anymore. I used to be like that when I used to eat like everybody else, eating this, peasant slave food diet type of thing. But anyway, the point is, yeah, and instead of eating your natural diet really as a human, you understand what natural diet is, right? Not cooking. There are pots and pans and plates. They don't exist. They don't exist in on Earth, on this planet. They only exist in this fantasy world that we live in, the Matrix. It's called the city. Cities, it's man-made. Yes, man-made. Nature, man-made. Fake, real. That's why they say you live in the Matrix or whatever. You get these people, they say, this is the Matrix. Okay. Whatever, man. Anyway, the point is, yeah, you want to regenerate. You want to regenerate more than you're deteriorating. That is the whole idea. But you're going to deteriorate faster than you can regenerate. But it's better to regenerate faster than you can deteriorate. That's how you wear this off. But everybody is degenerating anyways, or deteriorating. So regenerates because the body is breaking down more protein that it is synthesizing, leading to a loss of tissue. Yes, a loss of tissue. It's almost like, why fast? There's no point in fasting because you're already fasting. Get it, all of you. If you are eating unnatural food, man-made food, and mixing it with like your, natural food like animal products, and you're cooking them on top of it, then yeah, you're really like fasting. So there's no point in fasting because you're pretty much fasting. This catabolic state results in a net loss of protein, which is essential for cell structure and function. And then they get fat instead. Man, people are really obese. See, use your observation skills. When I'm at the buffet eating, I use my observation skills and I'm looking around. I'm just observing and watching people, what they do, what they eat, what they look like. Really, people are obese out there. Honestly, they're obese. They eat really horrendously bad food. They don't really care what they put in their food. They're not sure. They don't care. It's like they really don't care. And then, yeah, and then when they look at you and you look young and like we're looking over at my table. I can see these people looking over at my table today. I mean, they saw what I ate. I ate a lot of, raw fish. Then I had shrimp. Then I had beef. And as I was getting the beef, I mean, they were finishing up with like a lot of dessert, like cakes and everything. They just got there. I had already been there for quite a while. They just got there. And I remember the guy telling, I think it was the woman at the table, because there were four of them there. One of the women, he says to her, he goes, "You're already getting dessert?" Like they just got there. She barely, what did she eat? A greasy plate, like with greasy stuff on it. And then she went to go get cakes. Because people are just in a hurry. They just can't wait to get those cakes. That fake food, that sweetness, that salt. Anyway, I guess they don't give a shit. And they're gonna say, "Well, I got old because of," they're gonna make up every excuse in the book that it is not my fault. I aged. You didn't age. Age is a number. You deteriorated faster than you could regenerate. That's what happened. You're to blame. You are the culprit. You are to blame for all your inhibitions. You are to blame for putting that shit in your mouth. See what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, so which is essential for cell structure and function and can be caused by inadequate protein intake, severe injury and infection, burns, or fasting. Why negative nitrogen balance causes deterioration? Protein breakdown exceeds synthesis. Yeah. Nitrogen balance measures the difference between nitrogen intake from protein and nitrogen output. A negative balance means more nitrogen is being lost than taken in. It's a bad thing. Which, how can people build muscle as well? That's why people have a hard time building muscle. I'm a hard gainer. This is it. Nitrogen balance, hard gainer. I'm a newbie gain limit and a genetic limit. It's not a genetic limit, newbie gain limit, or hard gainer. It's because you are in negative nitrogen balance. The majority of people, 99% of people out there are negative nitrogen balance. I can prove it. Anyways, which signifies the body to break down its own protein for energy and other functions. Tissue loss. This increased protein breakdown leads to the loss of lean body mass, such as muscle tissue. Impaired repair and growth. This is a bad thing. Impaired repair and growth. Protein is vital for cell repair, maintenance, and growth. When protein is being lost, the body cannot effectively repair damaged cells or synthesize new ones, hindering the regenerative process. That's why you want to cut out all these fake foods and eat more raw animal products. Go back to eating your natural food. Well, of course, your parents have conditioned you to eat garbage. What do you expect, right? Me personally, man, my parents were slaves, and I'm a slave, and they're peasants, and I'm a peasant because they carried on traditionally feeding me this peasant slave food diet. It really is hard for people to break out of this conditioning now. You know, I know because my youngest daughter, she wants to eat meat, but her mom urges her to eat the slave food diet. Get it? I knew all the time that she wanted what I wanted, meat, because I just like eating meat. And she was the same. She didn't want to eat no chocolate, nothing, no sugary stuff. She just wanted meat products. And she never could understand when she sent her to school with this weird food, she would come home and never eat it. She never ate it because she wanted to eat meat. Anyways, conditions leading to negative nitrogen balance. So my youngest daughter is really intelligent. At least she's intelligent to know. Yeah, she told me lots of things. She would talk to me secretly. She would say, "You know what? You think mommy's crazy? Mommy's crazy, eh?" And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Even my daughter knows that she's nuts. Mommy's nuts because mommy's feeding her slave food diet. Anyways, conditions leading to negative nitrogen balance, inadequate protein and energy intake diets, low in protein overall calories, energy can lead to negative nitrogen balance. Yeah, low protein always, calories, energy. Severe stress or trauma, conditions like severe injury, major burns, fever, and certain types of cancer trigger increased protein breakdown, leading to significant nitrogen balance. Yeah, these things can do that because if you get sick, you usually aren't eating. That is a problem. Okay, infection and wasting, you're not eating. Infection and wasting diseases, infections and severe illnesses such as hypothyroidism can also increase protein catabolism and cause negative nitrogen balance. So, yeah, you don't want any of that. What would cause that? Well, the slave food peasant diet would cause it for sure. Anyways, fasting, during periods of fasting, the body uses stored proteins for energy, resulting in a negative nitrogen balance. So that's why you don't want to be fasting. It results in negative nitrogen balance, which you will deteriorate faster than you can regenerate. In summary, the negative nitrogen balance creates a state where the fundamental building blocks of cells are being depleted more quickly than they can be replenished, leading to a net loss of cellular and tissue mass. So I urge you not to listen to government, listen to your instincts. Stop listening to these people online. A lot of these crazy scientist people telling you eat 100 grams. Oh, no, we can absorb 100 grams, so you can eat 100 grams. 100 grams is not enough. You need a lot of protein. Just don't realize it. And I mean, if you cook your food, you destroy the nutrients, the amino acids in it. So now you need to consume more of it, so you spend more money. That's the problem with a lot of the food people eat. They kill it, they destroy it by putting it to heat, by processing it themselves. And then they have to consume more and more and more because they're in negative nitrogen balance constantly. You're constantly in negative nitrogen balance if you're feeling hungry. I don't feel hungry. Even when I eat, I have to schedule it out when I'm going to eat because I'm never hungry. Because always in positive nitrogen balance all the time. I know I am because I'm never hungry. I don't have those crazy weird starvation pains that people get. Ridiculous pains. I'll see you in the next one. Friends, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. So now you know the secret to youth. Now, as far as longevity, I don't know about longevity. Longevity, if you want to live longer, healthgevity goes with longevity. So it's this. This is associated with longevity. Now, can you live forever? Not that I know of. You have a biological clock when you're going to die. There you go. That is a given for sure. What that biological clock is, I don't know. Maybe it's 200. I have no idea. You'd have to experiment. Make sure you're in positive nitrogen balance when you reach there, okay? That's all. My friend asked me one time, I told him I want to live to 200. He goes, "Why? Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, but first I have to get to 100." You understand me? First I have to get to 100, and then I can see if I can get to 200. That's the idea. Anyway, because I don't know. What do I know? I'm a human. I don't know anything. Anyway, I gotta go off my instincts and intuition and a bunch of things. Okay, my experiences. So this is this. So when Brian Johnson and these other people, these I am longevity people, telling you should jump around and deteriorate yourself, keep deteriorating yourself faster than you're regenerating by doing crazy exercises, running, jumping, doing crazy things and everything. No, man, that's not the way you do it. If you want to stay strong and looking young and attractive, especially attractive, then you want to be in positive nitrogen balance. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. See? There you go. And the way to do it the best is to eat animal products as raw as you can get them. That's all. It's really simple. You're not going to die eating raw products. Nobody has. You haven't died eating the slave food peasant diet yet, have you? Well, many kind of have, I guess, being poisoned by these foods because they're poisonous. So many people have died actually from oxalate poisoning, and I don't know, lectins, tanners, man, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's even given them disease. So yeah, they've died because it's given them disease and a bunch of stuff. I don't know anybody that has died eating raw animal products because they don't give you disease. They're not filled with toxins. They don't have any sugar in there, so you're not gonna die from diabetes or cardiovascular or heart attack or any of these damn things. But if you run a lot, you may destroy your cardiovascular system and you may just die of that. Yeah, because running does that and it stresses the shit out of you, puts you in catabolism constantly. Look, heavy duty running, jumping, sports, things, whatever, put you in catabolism. So now you're going to have to eat more protein to suppress that catabolism, that catabolic state, get it? So that you can actually repair, that you can regenerate faster than you're deteriorating. That's how you suppress it. That's how you suppress this deterioration. But if you don't, you'll keep deteriorating because you're not regenerating. It's really simple. And then when you look back at the mirror, a mummy will be looking at you. A mummy. Okay? See you in the next one, friends. Ciao. I hope that helped.